And joining me now, you got it, and you asked for it, and you've got him back here today. Author of The Butcher of Pakistan, host of the Eric Deters Show, Eric Deters himself. Eric, thank you so much for being back on the program. We have so much to talk about, my friend. I have to get, like you and I, we talk every day, but I got to get your reaction for our viewers about the violence and left-wing insanity with these agitators in Los Angeles and, quite frankly, in other cities across this country.
Well, it's I did a Facebook Live about this last night. It's crazy, Kimberly. It's always good sometimes when these events go back that you break it down to the most simplest terms and you make sure you go back and you remember the history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I coined this phrase political Munchausen, which,
Oh my
what
God.
they create the problem and then they act like they can solve it. So what we have to do is we have to go back to 2015 where President Trump campaigned. He got into the race. His number one issue was the border. And what does he do? He gets in, he shuts down the border, Americans are safe. So what does Joe Biden do? Joe Biden opens up this border and he creates these millions and millions of people. Everybody knows it, comes in, all of these criminals. So, and what else does he do? He stops building the wall, and nobody talks about this. He paid contractors to not build the wall because they had to honor the contract and pay them the money, but the wall didn't get built. Typical Biden policy. So what does Trump do when he gets reelected? He focuses on the worst of the worst. So where are we right now? We have people who are backed by left-wing organizations. It's really hysterical because California has actually funded one of these groups. They're organizing these protests. So
Insane.
they create the problem. The bad guys are here. Trump focuses on just the worst of the worst, and the group and the party that created the problem are now protesting the guy who's trying to solve the problem. I mean, it is insanity. And you know this, Kimberly. This is such a terrible look for the other side because the only place this is happening is in left-wing Democratic cities. I mean, I would imagine there's moms in Missouri, housewives in Missouri's and all across the country that look at this and say, what the hell? I mean, it makes no sense on any level. It doesn't make any sense legally. It doesn't make any sense politically. It's just stupid. And I really do think that it's all it is the communists, the socialists, the woke, the left wing. They never learned their lesson. And it's just insane. It's insane.
You know, we've of course seen this before, but this time the American public, they don't seem to be going along with it, Eric. You know, what has shifted in your opinion? What is the difference? Where did the transition occur? How can you describe it about how people are relating, absorbing this, taking it in, accepting it, or rejecting this narrative?
I think it goes back to what happened at the George Floyd riots. I think what happened, and we all know this, President Bush was locked in with the Bushites, telling him what he should and shouldn't do. That's not happening now. And he left it to these cities and these states where they were burning down cities to handle it. And it was a nightmare. It was a disaster. So what happened in the 2020 election is this. That was the number one issue again, of course, is people are looking at that and they're saying, you know what? I'm tired of that. I don't want that anymore. We have to have some law and order. We can't have this lawless. I don't want cities being burnt down anymore. We don't want federal buildings. I mean, when you think about it, Kimberly, it's insane. Like, they took over a police station in Seattle and they let them do it. And the other thing is too, in these woke liberal cities like San Francisco, LA, New York City, Chicago, is then the gangs come out. And the gangs come out and they do whatever the hell they want. And like they really care about the deportation of illegal aliens. They use anything for an excuse. So to answer your question, and this diatribe that I just gave, I think it is people are just so fed up. So even though they're already fed up, and people got woke fatigue, is they're doing it again. But I think Americans proved it in 2020. They're like, I've had enough of this. Oh, here's another thing, Kimberly, I think is funnier than hell. These dumb people that are protesting, they don't realize that the prosecutors have changed.
Yeah.
There's no, you know what I mean? They don't know. These nitwits don't know that Trump's now appointed the U.S. attorney in L.A.
Yeah.
So
Bill Saley, right? Yeah.
they're so used to getting away with everything. Well, wait a minute. We used to get away with this. Well, why do we get away with this? The dumbasses don't know that there's new law in town.
That's unbelievable. You're so right. Such a good point. He's another regular superstar on the show like you are, Bill Saley. He's doing an amazing job. What a terrific appointment by President Trump, because he has stood up, even if he was the only one standing, time and time again. Let's talk about Looney Tunes, okay? Complete freak show. LA Mayor Karen Bass is blaming Trump, okay? Lunatic. Oh my God, I love the sign language. Blaming President Trump, doesn't even want ICE in the city. What does that say about the priorities of the Democrat Party? They are the party against public safety, in my opinion.
Yo, they definitely are. And what's wild, and by the way, I want to comment about the sign language real quick.
Okay, please. I hope you're just going to say his hair is great, because I'm jealous. His hair is way more amazing than mine.
I have a brother who's got cerebral palsy. Nobody understands special needs like I do. But I will always say this. The government requires you to have handicapped bathrooms. We had a chain of convenience stores. And I once asked our management, I said, has anybody ever known somebody to use a handicapped bathroom? They said, nope. And this is an example. There's so few people that need that. The distraction is crazy. But anyway, back to Karen Bass.
Oh my God.
These people are insane. How does an ordinary Californian, you're just Joe Blow, or say you're a famous Californian, you're a movie star in L.A., you're a rock star in L.A., who in the hell doesn't want the National Guard, troops, and whatever to knock this down? So Karen Bass, the violence starts, cars start burning, the hell starts coming. Trump sends in the National Guard. And what's amazing is Karen Bass and this one guy, I think you know who he was, may know, Newsom. Do these people think that the Californians and the people in LA have forgotten that they let Palisades burn down, that they let LA burn down? And now you're going to trust these people to handle what's going on in LA? I mean, you know what? And you know this about Kamala Harris and Karen Bass. You and I would not hire them to be a gopher in a law firm. We wouldn't hire them to run a lemonade stand. And here they are running a city, Los Angeles, but she doesn't have a clue. And how does she get around Kimberly, with her chief coming out and say, we're overwhelmed, Antifa's overwhelming us.
Oh my God.
And the last time he spoke, she's standing right next to him and he's reading a statement. But the cat was already out of bed. Her own police chief says, we can't handle this. And then Newsom sues to stop it from being, I mean, the insanity to sue to stop so we want the violence to continue. I'd like to see the lawyers, Kimberly.
Yeah.
So are you saying you want this violence to continue? Yes, Your Honor. We want that National Guard out. We want those Marines out. And these people have a right to burn down L.A.
It's unbelievable to me. There's a saying, don't interrupt your enemies when they are making a mistake, AKA a fool of themselves, okay?
Right.
So should we just I'm asking you this, straight face, keep letting the Democrats dig themselves into one deeper hole and ditch after another?
Yeah, yes. We have to just let them go.
I feel like we shouldn't give them any pro tips, Eric.
Right. No, but the one thing that President Trump, and what he's, I mean, guys, the vision, I hate the word. I hate all those political optics, the optics. The optics for the Dems are so bad. The optics for the president are so good. And we now have, they asked this question. They said, what do you think of the Marquette poll where it was like 3-1 in support of Trump doing what he's doing? And they said, do you support President Trump deporting illegal aliens? And it was like 66-33, yes. Well, what do you think the answer is to the question is, do you support President Trump deporting the worst of the worst? It goes way up. Then what do you think the answer to the question is? Do you support President Trump defending California citizens? I mean, you know what? It is pretty amazing that President Trump is hated by Bass. California is a liberal city. You got Newsom, the whack job governor. He cracks me up. He thinks he's so handsome, and he
is kind of handsome. But, yeah.
He is handsome. He is handsome. I said
better looking when he was with me. Yeah.
He is handsome, but he's so just disingenuous.
Yeah, why did he start like crying about come arrest me, Tom Holmes? Can you talk to me about that? That was a little bit theatric.
Trump is this. Trump, you're on the inside. Trump is a freaking problem solver. So he sees a problem that has to be solved. He leaps to solve it. The Democrats always try to angle things. What's the politics of this? But in this, I have no clue who's doing it. Unless that there's a theory, Kimberly, is all about who wants to out-woke, out-left, because they're already jockeying for that Democratic primary in 2028. So now, and that's what's going on. Who can be the worst anti-Trump guy? Who can one-up him?
Sure, I get it. It's all about the next election. It's what it is. It's like pomp and circumstance. It's theater. It's posturing. It's, all of the above. You and I see through this nonsense. Come on. So where do you think, Eric, that also known as Jason Statham, where do you think this all goes from here over the next several weeks, the next several months? Do Democrats even have a coherent strategy at this point?
What they're doing, and it cannot, it's being proven. They're organized these no kings. And by the way, that cracks me up. A dig at Trump, no kings. If you read the list of the ad that Eris Walton is putting out in national newspapers, no kings, everything on there is what Trump's all about. So what I'm loving, and again, the nitwits don't realize there's a new sheriff in town, Kimberly, where Kash Patel, your good friend, Kash Patel is investigating, and Josh Hawley is on it too with his committee. They're investigating the source of the money, the organization of all of this. I mean, this is one big aiding and abetting, criminal conspiracy, criminal RICO, you name it. And what, again, the nitwits don't realize is they don't have the cover that they once had with a liberal FBI, a woke Justice Department. They don't have the cover of that. So I think what's going to play out as this spreads across the country in liberal cities, I got to tell you something fun. This is going on a little bit in Cincinnati, liberal city, all Democrats. It's going on a little bit in Louisville, all Democrats. Here in northern Kentucky, Trump country, there were like 50 people that showed up at Newport along the river. It was peaceful, but there was no violence. It was just like 50 people. But I think what they're going to find out is they're going to find out the sources behind this, the people who are funding this, whether it's the communists, the socialists, the liberal organizations. I mean, it's insane when you hear about California giving $12 million to that one organization. But this is not, as I said today, Kimberly, this isn't the hippies in the 60s protesting a war, which is organic. I mean, this is not organic. And I think when Kash Patel and your other good friend Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, and they find out who's behind all this, it's going to get worse for them. I mean, worse. But it's not helping them politically.
God, these people are so nuts. It's such grandstanding. Like, what are they doing? So foolish. They're a party that's out of ideas. They're out of time. They're completely out of scope for relevance whatsoever. And they do this dumb stuff. Like they go and they, have like margaritas or burritos, whatever the hell that was, with a gangbanger and a criminal. I mean, what are you doing? You're so off focus. You're not even in any way in tune with the pulse of the American people and what matters. Then you interrupt a DHS thing. This is what they're doing. I mean, it's so bad. Like, why are they doing it? Do they not get that this isn't working, that it's sophomoric, that it's imbecilic?
Yeah. To make as their poster child Garcia. Okay. I mean, and another thing it's doing, Kimberly, because you were married to a lib. I'm married to a liberal, but my wife is what I call a Jimmy Carter liberal.
Oh, Jesus.
In other words, she's not a woke. She's not a woke. She doesn't like any of the woke stuff, okay? But she's liberal. Now, this is a good anecdote, okay? So,
she didn't seem so liberal at the Freedom Fest.
She wasn't. She loved Freedom Fest. She loves you. She loves it. But isn't that fun? Oh, she was your hostess.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Shocking. She put on a pretty good attitude.
Oh my God. Yeah.
She loved the Freedom Fest. But
yeah, she's amazing.
What's going on? And Jim Carville is Exhibit A. Is you and I, we may disagree with the Jimmy Carter liberals, the Bill Maher's, the James Carville. We can disagree with them, but we can have a conversation and tease them. And my Jimmy Carter liberal friends, we have good laughs together. So what this craziness is doing is, Jim, you got people like James Carville and the other just plain old liberal Democrats that aren't the crazy Democrats. And Bill Clinton can try to put on his good face with The View and everything else. But Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, James Carville, all of them are like losing their minds of what's going on because they've lost all control. So the other thing that it's doing, Kimberly, is it's destroying the Democratic Party. I mean, destroying. Trump, the MAGA movement was so powerful, he could beat the Liz Cheney gang, thank God. But this group over here is taking over, and these Jim Carville interviews, and when he's talking about Hogg that got fired just now from the DNC, it's hysterical to just see the Raging Cajun's comments about it. So that any intelligent Democrat, moderate Democrat, has got to be saying this is nuts, and they just keep doing it. It also concerns me. I feel like under beginning of Barack Obama, our country got infiltrated by the communists, radical Muslims, any bad group really bad within, because they wanted anybody to have the job. I can't imagine the people that they hired in the swamp. And there's more and more of these people that are getting busted for selling secrets. But under Barack Obama, under Joe Biden, it got even worse. I mean, anybody's allowed to come in this country. So our country, unfortunately, right now, we probably have more radical nut jobs inside our borders than ever before. And Trump's trying to get them out. But, the communists must be pretty happy right now.
What a bummer. We don't want them happy. We don't want them happy. I want to talk about things that make me happy, which is justice, and seeing good outcomes. Justice delayed is not justice denied. Can you please, because our viewers have been following the case very closely, and you truly have been like the brave heart of the legal movement, give us an update, on your case, how things are going, where it stands, what are next steps? We really want to see this through. We're committed to seeing it through for you.
Well, I appreciate that. There is the 580 cases that are in state court right now. We're trying them like one at a time, two at a time. There is a hearing. There's been a hearing, and the judge, you can't make this up, after 12 years, Medical Protective is trying to rescind the insurance policy because Durrani allegedly lied, and there's a decision that's going to come from Judge Reese soon. I'm very confident we're going to win that.
Okay.
We're waiting on a hearing for Judge Michael Barrett. This guy is a federal judge. We've had 3 one-year discovery periods, and he needs to set it for a trial, and we're waiting on him to set it for a trial. But I think something, and just so everybody knows, this involves 580 people who were given, had unnecessary spine surgeries by a guy by the name of Dr. Atik Durrani. Durrani was indicted. He fled the country, and the court and legal system in the state of Ohio have refused to give these people their justice, and it is crazy. And I really appreciate your producer, Drew. He's done a great job.
He really has.
Pictures. But let me tell you how corrupt is, and this is very important for your reviewers because I can tie it in to Vivek Ramaswamy's governor's race, the recent election of Bernie Moreno in the state of Ohio. Mike DeWine is a Bushite. I call them Bushites. The Ohio Supreme Court are Bushites. These people are not MAGA. They're not Donald Trump's supporters. And these are the people that have done this to these good citizens of the state of Ohio. This is a recent anecdote of how corrupt the state of Ohio is. You can't make it up, as I like to say. Mm-hmm. Durrani fled the country, and that tolls the statute of limitations on when you can file things. Well, Children's Hospital hated that we got 30 more cases against them, and we keep getting more cases against them. They found two Bushite legislators, and it's called House Bill 179. Every single member of the Republican and Democrat, the state Senate and the state House, actually passed a law, Kimberly, that said that when a doctor flees the country, it doesn't toll the statute of limitations. In other words, too bad, he leaves the country, he can leave and he come back. It was truly the Dr. Durrani Protection Act, and Mike DeWine signed it.
Wow.
I mean, it's like, are you all crazy?
Yeah, that's nuts.
And that's obviously unconstitutional because it violates the Constitution. You can't pass post facto laws, so it's going to be found unconstitutional. But it is the most bizarre, crazy legal battle in the history of this country. I can't thank you enough for giving me a platform with your show to bring it to light. But everybody needs to know that in the state of Ohio right now, there are 580 victims. Only 100 of them have had their trials since 2012.
It's outrageous.
It's outrageous. And the Ohio Supreme Court has a rule that says every case is supposed to be over in 3 years. So
that violates it on principle statute right there.
Right. It's just crazy, Kimberly. But when the world knows, we're going to shame them all.
Oh, I can't wait. I mean, this needs to happen. People, it's just, yeah, I know. You're not going to be fatigued. You've got the stomach for it. That's why people love it. And people love your show, love you coming on this show. So I always ask you, and you always make yourself available, which I do truly appreciate. I make Drew chase you down to within an inch of your life to make you come on. But let's talk about this. Where also can we go to hear, one, more information about the case and also about the Eric Deters Show?
Well, I am like you, but the Eric Deters Show is on Rumble. I'm also on YouTube, so you can subscribe. I'm on every possible platform. I attribute some of it to coming onto your show, Kimberly. This is weird. When Zuckerberg became President Trump's buddy a little bit, okay, I was stuck like on Facebook, my main Facebook page, like with 25,000 followers.
Yeah.
January. I'm now up to almost 120, and I've gotten 43 million views the last month of my content.
Oh, wow.
Social media is starting to get a hold of me, and I can't thank you enough. Coming on your show, coming on Junior's show, every bit helps. I like to think that I'm kind of like a pretty good guest that's not really known yet, but you've discovered. I'm gonna give you credit, Kimberly. You discovered Eric Deters one day.
I know. I'm a good talent spotter. What can I say? I'm like, listen, this guy's fire. I love it. But people want someone compelling, that's authentic, that's, not just trying to go for some soundbite, but just telling it like it is with every sentence and every utterance about issues that matter. And you don't go after what's popular. You go after and chase what's right. And I like your Roosevelt quote there as well. And it's what's important. It's why I was driven to be, a prosecutor and fight for the innocent, those that don't have a voice, and make sure that you do something. You're put on this planet, thanks be to God, to do good deeds, to do the right thing, to live a good life. Most things, the right thing to do, makes sense. My father was taught me that. So it's pretty easy to navigate that course when we're built like you and I. But I want to just tell you, thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being a great guest and a good friend to this show, indeed. Everyone, go check out the Eric Deters Show right here on Rumble. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Kimberly. You're the best.
All right, sweetheart. Take care.